My name is Ayelet Lerner, and it is my honor to be here today to give a short introduction for this ceremony in which we will commemorate Moritz Katz Chaie Heiman. First of all, I would like to welcome the family of Moritz and Chaie, who have traveled from the USA and from various places in Europe to be here and have these stumbling stones placed here today. In particular, Linda, who we will also be hearing from today, the granddaughter of Moritz and Chaie, who made the request for these stumbling stones, and with whom we have all exchanged numerous emails for well over 1 year. So I'm grateful to finally meet you, Linda, and be present here with you. There are many people to thank for making this moment possible, for giving us the chance to keep alive the memory of our family members who perished in the Holocaust. I will do my best to keep it as brief as I can. The Stumbling Stone Project was founded by the German artist Gunther Demnig. One of the inspirations for his work came from a quote shared with him by a rabbi from the Talmud. A person is only forgotten when their name is no longer remembered. Just 1 year ago marked the 100,000th stumbling stone placed in Europe. 100,000 names remembered, people remembered. In Antwerp, the Stumbling Stone Project is entirely run and organized by a group of around 10 non-Jewish volunteers. On Sunday, 27 April, only a couple of months ago, they were responsible for the placing of the 250th stumbling stone in the city of Antwerp. Today, with Moritz and Chaie, we will be placing the 260th Willem's great-uncle, Jan de Riedel, was a member of one of Antwerp's district police corps during the war and one of the resistance heroes in that force, warning Jews of upcoming razzias and helping some to escape. These courageous acts resonate strongly with the work of today's volunteers. Quiet and determined acts of great care and heroism. I offer a special thanks to Marc for the research he does for the project and the families, to Wim Verresen, who is placing these stumbling stones right now, to Jan for consistently providing security at these events, to Tatjana Scheck for her moving and heartfelt musical contribution, and to Ricky van Dijk, who films these ceremonies and manages the project's website. His important work means that these moments are documented for families today and for generations to come. Before we hear from the grandchildren of Moritz and Chaie, Henny and Linda, and say Kaddish together led by Maurice, I would like to conclude by saying this. As a Jewish woman and a descendant of a family deported from Antwerp, I am deeply moved and inspired by the dedication of our non-Jewish allies. It is through their tireless efforts that the memories of those we lost is not only preserved, but woven into the fabric of Antwerp's collective history. During these difficult times we face in the world today, we must stand united as a Jewish people and with all those who remind us that even in dark times, humanity does and can prevail. By being here today together, we are not only remembering the past, we are shaping a future built on solidarity, truth, and hope. I would now like to invite Henny.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. It is very humbling as the eldest living member of this family to welcome you all to this bittersweet, momentous gathering. Linda, thank you for conceiving and organizing this commemoration of our late grandparents and to lay the Stolperstein stone in honor of Moritz and Chaie. Your dedication and perseverance to accomplish this and get us all here is exceptional. The fantastic turnout is testament to both your effort and a desire to recognize and pay respects to those who were so tragically murdered. The trauma of those days and the veil of silence that prevailed dampened the guilt of those that survived. The ripple effect left an unfathomable hole of anguish, ignorance, and heartbreak. So much so that my dad never spoke of his life in Antwerp. This added to his survivor's guilt. So today is very special in many ways, some of which may be deeply personal. It is an opportunity to open
the remarkable volunteers of the Stumpy Stone Initiative of Antwerp, and everyone involved in this truly noble ongoing endeavor to shine a light on Europe's darkest history. The time and effort involved in this undertaking is monumental. Without the research to find the information none of us had about Moritz and Chaie, this day would not have taken place. The brainchild of these stepping stones belongs to Gunther Demning, whom we all extend our sincere gratitude. The sunglasses are on. In this weather, as I'm not sure the rescue drops that Sharon brought me will help, and as Brian always says, I cry when I see the pet food ad on TV. I think many of us in the Katz family are super emotional. So excuse me, please, when I do have some emotion. Not in my wildest dreams did I think so many, in fact most of our small family would be here today to honor our grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents. When I embarked on this journey, I honestly didn't expect everyone to be here, and I'm truly overwhelmed. Although Graydon, Noah, Sky, and my dove are so very young, I just hope they will remember this day and pass on to their children the lessons of the Holocaust, so no one ever forgets this greatest crime in all of history. Standing here today is proof that Hitler and the monstrous regime had no understanding of the perseverance and resilience of the Jewish people. He had our grandparents murdered, but our family has grown and flourished. And although we are the wandering Jews and live all over the world, we are still a family and will always be there for each other. I know that Jack, Bertha, and Peter would be so proud to see us all here today, paying tribute to their parents. I have learned from the research team of this remarkable project the following about our grandparents. The family roots of Moritz Katz and Chaie Heiman lived in Latvia. At that time, Latvia was part of the Tsarist Russia. Moritz was born in 1882 in Friedrichstadt, a small town about 80 kilometers southwest of Riga. At the end of the 19th century, more than 5,200 people lived there, of whom almost three-quarters were Jewish. The German name of the town disappeared after World War I, when the Republic of Latvia was founded. Moritz's parents, Hirsch Katz and Chaie Heiman, were born in Friedrichstadt and Greve. In 1883, Chaie was also born in Greve. Josek Heiman and Hanna Leisprovics, Chaie's parents, were both born in Greve. Moritz and Chaie are therefore of Latvian origin, but officially they were Russian, and therefore all documents mention that nationality. Chaie Heiman migrated to Antwerp and was registered on the 1st of December 1903. She had just turned 20. Moritz also immigrated to Antwerp, where he was registered on May 16, 1904. Chaie and Moritz found each other, and in 1908 their son Gustav was born in Antwerp. Their daughter Bertha followed in 1911. My mom, Eva Katz, who we all knew as Ida, the youngest daughter, was born in London in 1915. When World War I broke out, the Katz Chaie family saw the opportunity to escape to England. In April 1919, Moritz and Chaie returned to Antwerp with their 3 young children. From 1931 through November 1940, they lived at the Milliestraat 56, and this was the address my mom always spoke about. However, after she left Belgium, Moritz and Chaie moved again to the place where we are now standing. In 1941, the German occupiers set up the Committee for Russian Mutual Aid in Belgium. Every Russian immigrant had to report to this committee, and if he met the standard of refugee, he could receive a nationality certificate. He was then registered as a Russian refugee and enjoyed minimal protection on paper. However, Russian Jews were refused the nationality certificate that was necessary for minimal protection. Moritz Katz, then 62 and 61 years old. We're immediately led to the gas chamber. I'm sorry. We're immediately led to the gas chambers upon arrival. This is more information than I believe Maurice or I ever received from our parents. We never asked questions and they didn't offer any information. It was obviously too painful to talk about. I know that my mother felt guilty her entire life for leaving her parents. Maurice, please come and read the
Kadash, Shmerah, Abadi, Arach, Irutei, Yavlichmachutei, Chayechot, Yuvechot, Chaie, the whole Beit Israel, Haggadah, Bet, Kavi, Yibrubei, Yeshmeribam, Rak, Vedam, Omei, Amaya, Ibarak, Vitale, Vitalal, Spijker, Vitsaviku, Leila, Mitchell, Gepata, Vishirata, Shishakata, Benechimata, Damiran, Balmavi, Romain, Yeish, Lamarabam, and Shmaev, Chemalenu, Kol Israel, Bim Romain. Voseh Shalom, Bim Romain. Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, Kol Israel, Bim Romain. Sorry, if I may, and forgive me for being so emotional, but I've said Kaddish for my father, and I've said Kaddish for my in-laws, and I've said Kaddish for my mother, but I've never felt it like this. And I have a few words from my son, who was unable to be here today. And I hope you'll indulge me just for a minute. Dear family, as I write this, I feel how much I would love to have been there with you all. How proud I am of this family, this honoring of our past. I didn't know my great-grandparents, but seeing how I'm becoming more and more like my dad, I feel sure that I bear their traits, as I'm sure my children do. The door. I don't know my grandparents either. They died when I was very young, and they too were too young. And that has a tragic end. But the loss of my great-grandparents, Chaie and Moritz, at the hands of the Nazis, is a lot to bear. I was reading this over the Shabbat about Avram's meticulous dealings when burying the cave, when buying the burial cave in Hebron for Sarah and himself and their children, our forefathers and mothers. This teaches us the importance of our tradition of a final resting place of all the things that were denied our beloved great parents. and many in their generation, not having a fitting burial, I find to be amongst the most cruel and troubling. We believe that the souls of the departed can be elevated by acts here in the living plane. May this act of memorial serve to elevate their souls in Shamayim, and may it be a fitting substitute for a dignified burial. May they have peace, and in their blessed memory, may we know peace. And finally, if I may, I cannot pay enough tribute to the volunteers, to the people, the non-Jewish people who take such care and have put themselves to such effort for us, and to Linda and her family who made this all possible. On behalf of the Katzes, we thank you. And I hope that this is the start of many, many reunions for this beautiful family. We thank you.
Thank you everyone for being here today. We invite the family to come, look at the stumbling stones, and place a little stone in memory of Moritz and Chaie.